So I was going to make an entire video talking about Tyler Toffoli and the Calgary Flames news, because it was kind of revealed by certain NHL insiders that Toffoli and Calgary is sort of a thing, but that's not where we're going with today's episode of the show anymore. Because we had ourselves the Martin St. Louis press conference done with the media, and man, a lot of the quotes that this guy has, they're absolutely gold. And you know how Martin St. Louis was absolutely loved as a player because he defied all odds, he stood up to authority, and he was like, yeah, no, screw you. Even though you're saying that I can't play, even though I'm 5'8", even though I've got all these hurdles that I have to jump over, I'm going to get over the hump. I'm going to win an Art Ross. I'm going to win a Stanley Cup championship. I'm going to do all these things as a guy who wasn't supposed to be able to do them, as an undrafted player, as a 5'8" player, as a guy with all the odds stacked against him. Martin St. Louis had himself the conference, and I'm going to go over onto Reddit here for a little bit of assistance, because what they did was they summarized, or not summarized, but they collected all the quotes that were said by St. Louis, by Kent Hughes, all the tweets to individual NHL people. So Emrith, we have Arpon Basu, we have Engels, we have all these guys, not guys, well, there are women in here too, but you get what I mean. All these people tweeting out stuff about what St. Louis and Hughes are saying, and this Reddit thread has every quote that you could use. So I'm going to be reading this thread right here, going over some of my thoughts on these quotes and the philosophies that Martin St. Louis has as a coach, and highlight why I'm so excited for the Montreal Canadiens going forward. I'm not going to be going out there and attributing these quotes because you can see who tweeted it out, you know, which NHL media person made the tweet, but Martin St. Louis says that this is something that I've been preparing for about 10 years. It's always been my dream to be an NHL coach. For me, it was a matter of time. Now, we know that Martin St. Louis literally was a Pee-wee coach before this. He was coaching, I believe it was his son's team. And, you know, it's a big jump going from AAA U13 hockey to the National Hockey League, but you know, if there was any doubt that I had about St. Louis before, that's kind of gone away after this press conference. He says he doesn't care about the terms of the contract. This is all about the opportunity. Give me a chance, and I'll show you what I can do with it. Is that not what Martin St. Louis has pretty much stood for his entire career up to this point? Defying all odds and saying, all right, just sign me to a contract. Just play me. Just allow me to do what I need to do, and I will show you results. That has been Martin St. Louis to a T. He's representative of the culture we want in Montreal, Kent Hughes says, and yeah, it's kind of self-explanatory, the connection over there. I think I'm going to be a very demanding coach, but a fair one. Not just physically demanding, but mentally demanding too. I know I have no experience behind the bench at the NHL level, but I have a lot of it on the bench, on the ice, and in the room. St. Louis says he is not someone who has all the answers, but in his life, he has always been able to find them. Answers are everywhere. You just have to find them. I'm not afraid of this jump. To me, hockey is hockey. He also says he loves challenges. I've always loved challenges. I eat hockey. Why would I do this? Well, one, it's the Montreal Canadiens, and number two, I'm the head coach. Those are some good reasons to do this. And hey, I kind of agree. If you were given this opportunity, why not go out there and use it? Now, when it comes to what the Canadiens themselves need, Martin St. Louis goes out there and he says this: if anything this team needs right now, it's to have fun. When these guys were in Pee-wee, they had fun. So I'm probably the most qualified guy right now. I've always been the guy who blocks the noise and gets after it. My job coming in is to just inspire them, and I think that's one of my strengths. Now, another one of the controversies that a lot of people brought up was, okay, why now? Why not just let the team be bad, let Ducharme run the train down into the ground, maybe get the first, second, third overall pick? I don't even know which picks are possible anymore because of the new draft lottery system. But why now? Jeff Gorton says his intention was to have Dominique Ducharme finish the season as head coach, but the situation kept deteriorating and he and Kent Hughes felt that it was time to make a change. It felt evident that Ducharme wasn't going to be brought back next season anyway, and so they figured why not make the coaching change now. And when it comes to Martin St. Louis specifically, Now, this quote doesn't really summarize it all. There's an entire video of the actual answer he has here. St. Louis says that the most important thing is for him coming in as a head coach and getting to know his players, and he also said, with a breath of fresh air answer, systems box players in. I hated that the most as a player. Now that quote, I want to expand a little bit more on that because the video of him saying this is actually going kind of viral on Habs Twitter. He goes out there and he says that he hated systems because systems force players into a box. They force players and limit them as to what they're allowed to do and what they're supposed to do. It doesn't allow good players who have natural instincts to play with those natural instincts, which is why he said when he was given the free rein to go out there and just do what it is that he feels is necessary, that's when he had results, not when he was boxed into a system. Systems are a part of the game, but they should not be the entire game. And he specifically calls out when you have creative players, good players, that are playing in a system that is so tight to what the system should be, you're holding them back. And the video of him saying that is going viral because a lot of Canadiens fans are like, yeah, this is what we needed. This is a guy who's coming in here with the right mindset, and if there's anybody who's going to be able to back up what it is that he's saying, I mean, it's Martin St. Louis, right? The guy is a Hall of Famer even though he was small, he was undrafted, he came out of nowhere, he defied all odds, and now he's like an Art Ross Stanley Cup champion winner and all that. This is a guy that knows what he's talking about. And when it comes to small players, I mean, you talk about small guys all the time. Cole Caulfield is on this team. You got Paul Byron, who is on this team. You got Brendan Gallagher. You got Nick Suzuki. You got small guys everywhere throughout the Canadiens lineup. And if there's anybody that's going to be able to identify who's doing well, who's actually smart enough to carry plays by themselves, it's probably this player. He says that I'm not coming in here to be a substitute teacher. I have every intention of being here a long time, but I'll have to prove myself again and earn it. Kent Hughes says we wouldn't have brought him here if he wasn't the type of coach we were looking for. We want to establish the culture we want to see, and Marty is the perfect embodiment of it. See, this is kind of what I was talking about, right? Like, I'm getting more and more excited based off of what I'm hearing that I kind of feel like I want to start watching all the remaining Habs games on the year. He says the game of hockey is played without the puck. My philosophy is I coach much more without the puck than the guy with the puck. He says that players with less talent can play well without the puck, so they touch the puck more and thereby become more talented. And you know, I can't go out there and say that he's necessarily wrong on that one. Habs GM Kent Hughes talking about resetting the Canadiens' culture going forward this season with Marty. We understand we're not going to make the playoffs, but we are not going to roll over. So there you go. There is the confirmation. No playoffs for the Canadiens this season. And on a final note, I guess the last thing we're going to talk about over here, Martin St. Louis says that he is confident that Cole Caulfield will continue to grow as a player despite the struggles he has had in his first full NHL season. And so, there you go. If there's anybody that's going to probably know how to develop Cole Caulfield the right way, Martin St. Louis seems to be the guy. Now, there have been a few analyses here and there I've seen, especially on Twitter, of people breaking down Caulfield clips and showing, okay, this is why he is not succeeding. You see when he takes the puck in the neutral zone here, he skates up a little bit there, and the Canadiens don't support him in this way. Like, there are so many people analyzing what's going on with Caulfield and all that stuff, but just getting this guy behind the bench and not having Ducharme and his very distinct systems, I guess you could say, here anymore, makes for a very interesting package of Montreal Canadiens hockey to be. And so talk to me in the comments, what do you think about Martin St. Louis and his entire press conference over here? I guess tomorrow we're going to be talking about that Toffoli and Calgary thing, because I wanted to give the spotlight to the brand new Canadiens interim head coach. By the way, I think, oh boy, was it Jeff Gorton who said that St. Louis was the interim GM accidentally in one of the sentences that he had in the press conference? Something like that. Either way, talk to me in the comments, what do you think about St. Louis, the entire commentary that he had on the Canadiens, and his philosophy on coaching. I, for one, am super excited to see skilled players go out there and play their game. Play with instinct. Play outside of a system. Play as true to themselves as they possibly can. By the way, before we end off this video, yeah, the Reddit thread, it's going to be linked in the description if you want to go ahead and see every single tweet that has been linked in this post. It just goes over everything, so if you didn't have a chance to actually watch the press conference because it was on the internet, I'm not too sure if it was on TV, but it's on the website either way, so go ahead and click the link in the description. I hope you enjoyed this Mr. Trolls 99, and bye.